How's it going, everyone? In this episode, we're going to continue working on our time soldiers. We're going to rebuild the joysticks and everything for our control panel, hopefully. But I've already did the player 2. I had never done one of these. Honest to God's truth, I've never done one of these types, so I went ahead and did this one off camera just in case I was going to make a fool of myself and couldn't do it. Then, yeah, whatever. And actually they're not bad at all. There was no cussing involved, no throwing of anything up against the wall or out the garage door. Everything seemed to work out pretty good. I've always been that way, that I can pretty much look at stuff and know how to tear it apart just by studying it a little bit and repairing it and doing what needs to be done. That's just the way I have always been. This one I replaced all the the two micro switches for our hyper and our fire button. I marked them. You can see there's a W. Well, looks like an M, but it's a W, meaning S for the white. And there's an R on that one, meaning for the red button, which is our hyper and our fire. What I'm using, these are the old ones. These ones were all soldered together on our joystick. All the grounds were soldered to the micro switches, and I'm just not a fan of that, because there was one of them, this one right here, that wasn't even soldered. It was just kind of wrapped around it, and looked like they tried soldering it, but it didn't take. So I knew there was problems, and who knows how old these switches are. I can't figure out date codes on these AH76525, which could be our date code, but or a number or whatever, I don't know. I can't figure out the date codes on these. The ones I took out are Matschitza. Same as our monitor that was in this time soldier. These are Matschitza. Shit? You ain't shit. Yeah. Matschitza micro switches. And then the single, was that another? Yep. The singles, the white and the red, were oh shit, I can't even read that. Cherry, I don't know. Anyway, what I'm replacing with is our single little button micro switches, as I'm using these Omrons. I get these from Gemco. I've had really good luck with these. I've used a lot of these in my machines, and I've never had any problems with them. But when it comes to these little lever switches, I call them lever switches, whatever you want to call them, I had to go with, these are Highly Electric Corporation. Now the problem with these are 2-contact switches, so you have 2-wire. These ones are lever, and it's 2 long, and it's a 3. So what you need to do is you need to find out whether the switch is open when it's in the up position and then close when you push down, or opposite. Which this one is. It's open, and then when you push down it closes, makes the switch. On this one, these switches are both ways. The top and the bottom are closed when it's up, and when you pull down it opens. And then the second one is open when it's up, and then when you pull down it closes. So we need to use those two, which you can see I have done. Really, kind of hard to see in there, but yeah, you can see the top pin I'm not using. Our leaf switch we have our one leaf switch, and that's for our start button. There's nothing wrong with our leaf switches, so we're just going to clean them up and we'll reuse those. Those will be fine. But I did cut some of this crap out, and the harness was there, and it's grounded just like it was. It just shortened it up and got rid of some wiring. That's probably, you know, there's extra wiring in these for multitudes of, you know, games. You know, instead of 2-button, maybe we'll have 3-button or 4-button. You know, there's wiring in here probably for all of that. There's a yellow one in here that's just cut off and doesn't go anywhere. But it might be that this wiring harness is specific for time soldiers. But what we're going to do is we're going to rebuild this. We're going to tear this one down, and I'll show you how I tore this one down and fixed it, and we're going to tear that one down and fix it on camera. That way I did that one off camera so I wouldn't look like a fool. And I learned something. I guess I could have done it together with you and we all could have learned, but I thought it would be a little easier if I learned how to do it and then do this one with everybody, and that way I might know what I'm talking about, maybe. So I'll get you set up in the stand here, and we'll rebuild this one and put some new switches in it and some new switches on our hyper and fire button. First thing we're going to do is we're going to replace the switches in our joystick. Now what I found on doing the other one is I will mark this so I can put it back exactly the way I took it off. And after studying everything about these, I found that this is the exact same joystick as the Player 2. This one just has a few more problems than Player 2. But we'll get into that here in a little bit once we change the macros in this. Now, normally the post should be sticking up through here. Should be just like that one. That's why I said we have more problems with this one than number 2. But the switches in it wore out. So basically, you should be able to take the screws out. That plastic is sticking up through here, so you have to slide the whole carriage up through. Now, what I did was, since this has to slide that way, we have to remove these wires so it'll push through. And what I did to make sure I got everything put back together is this side is the green wire, so we're going to put a little G, and the other side, yeah, it's the brown. So we'll put a brown. You can do them all, and that's gray. You can't have two. So we'll put the gray, and that's a white. So that's where our wires go, in case you get screwed up. Now we need to take out these 4 screws here. Okay, this one was soldered on. So that's our green. We'll go ahead and cut that one off and take off our brown, our ground. And now we should be able to just push him out. Like so. Okay, remember that's our green, which is right there. Now we have to take out these 4 screws. Take off our plate, and now we can get to our switches. These switches just sit right down in there on 2 pins. And like I said, on our new ones, you can see that our lever is longer. So we have to cut that back to about even with the face. That's that one. And our green, we'll put a terminal on the green one, which is this one. But that's what we're going to do now. But I am going to pull this all apart like so, and I am going to go wash this up, remembering how all this goes back together. Okay, okay, got it cleaned up. It's stained. It's probably popped from someone's little crotch goblin that poured it, dumped it on the... But that's beside the point. We're going to rebuild it, and we're going to have all new switches in it, so I don't think anybody's going to mind if there's a little bit of a stain. Okay, same thing, we'll cut that off about even. Here's the new one, and here's an old one. A little crunchy. Let's see, we'll put that one there. here. Okay, now another switch. One more. Alright, now we need to slide our... Nope. Not ready to slide that on yet. Let me see what we look at like. Let me go clean this up. This plate is actually what holds your switches in position. You can see there's little tabs here, and that screw actually goes down in one of the screw holes. That's what kind of centers and keeps everything in line and where it belongs. And don't get me wrong, I do like kids, as long as they're someone else's. They're great. Nope, wrong screw. Need the big ones. But normally on these machines, if they're, you know, like this at 87 Time Soldiers, I'm sure this was in an arcade or convenience store or pizza shop or something like that. Not a bar, so I'm sure it's not beer. I'm sure it's probably pop that was spilled down the joystick. There we go. Now we can slide. Now what I found on the other one, since we have an extra terminal, is it's a little harder to push this through, push that microchip. Let's see, green brown, yeah, green brown. A little harder to push this through because of the extra terminal on it. So you got to get this just right to go in and through. I had well, not a heck of a time, but I had a little bit of a difficult time getting that pushed through. Okay. That was a gray and white. Here's our gray arrow. Yeah, okay. Just making sure that I put it back together the same. Let me open this up just a little. I had to on the other one. I was kind of hoping this one would slide in there a lot easier, but no. Well, dumbass. Why don't you put together right? Why the hell didn't you tell me I was doing that back asswards? I wanted to see if I could figure it out on my own, huh? Kind of bent a few of those a little bit. Bent. Get this one. And now we can scoot that over a little bit. Line those ones up. Put the other corner in. You ever have a feeling it's going to be one of those days where everything's going to fight you? Okay, here we go, and put our ground on, we got stretched out. Oh yeah, take and just pinch them together a little bit. There we go. Okay, brown is over here. Compressor kicked on. Alright, now we got to change our the green one. Put a terminal on it. Tighten that up just a little bit. And we're good. So we've got this one touching. Pull him. Bend him away from the plate a little bit. There we go. Okay, now what I need to do is I'll change out these two. We got another one that's soldered. Excuse me, I got tied up in that song. That sucker's going to be stuck in my head. Okay, this is a red one. So we're going to take our little magic marker here and we're going to put an R on it. So we know that's our red one. Let's see, I need to tighten up that terminal a little bit. That one. Some of this straightened out. And that one. Do the same thing over here. Pull the white one off. Put a W on it for wet. Take our brown. And the black. There we go. Now we got all that done. Now, let's see. I need to tighten up this centering pin. Alright, now, as I was saying earlier, that these two joysticks are the same. I thought they were different types of joysticks, but they're not. They are the same. Okay, this is our good one, except for our stem is bent, so I have to straighten that out. Anyway, what I have found out is everything is here. This should be should come up through. Then you have your plastic that sits over here, and then you have a clip up here that holds all this inside your joystick, and then this just goes up through the bottom like so, and then you screw it on. Okay, now what we have going on here is I have two of these, since I had one off of this other joystick here. This one, the groove at the top for the retainer clip is wore off, gone. This one's still good, but the bottom clip is missing. Plus, our spring is just a bit deformed. So I gotta try and straighten out this spring, because our spring will sit right up here. This is what gives us our back and forth. That springs it back to where it belongs. Aha! There's the extra clip. It goes on the bottom of that one. But problem is I don't have this clip. This one right here. I don't have that clip. This one's too big. Eee! Plus we need it down here on that anyway. So we're going to see what we can do about getting this all put back together with what we have. I am going to use an E-clip on the top. Hopefully that should hold it. But I gotta see what I can do about that spring. Just fitting that I want to kind of straighten out this spring a little bit and get it kind of squished down so we could reuse it, and it broke. Now I have this spring here. It's a little thinner, but a few more coils on it, so I think we're going to be okay. So now how this goes together is you put your spring goes on, and then your shaft goes up through like so, and we have this plastic dude that goes up through there. And like I said, I can't come across one of those other types of clips, so we're going to use an E-clip. There we go. Which actually feels pretty stinking good. Turn that over. Our spring's a little... I'm not too happy about that. Let's see if we can come up with a different plan here. Find my stinking screwdriver. God, talk about a mess. See, the problem is this nylon washer is split, so now it's letting the spring go all the way down on the inside, which we don't want. So now I'm going to have to find something else that'll fit down in here and hold our spring where it belongs instead of it sliding down inside. Now I found another nylon washer. Pulled it out of the other old one. And now that spring is just not right, but it's going to work until we come across another one of these controllers, which we may never come across. Now, see, once you mount this in the control panel, This will go right down inside here. And what happens here is you have to, these screw together. That center post, as you can see, screws, will screw down onto here. We'll have to really get this cleaned up so they screw down on real nice and easy. I mean, you can, I guess if we have to, we can take this retainer off here, and then we can screw it down on, screw it up in. This is the, yep, this is the other one. This is the number one we're going to use. That one's the broke. Okay, where's our other good one? There it is. This is the one that's bent. Now finishes those up. Now those are all ready to be put back in the control panel. Like I said, once I got figured out that spring in the number one, and got another nylon washer on there, we'll put her up through, and now she's ready. Hopefully. Won't know for sure until we get it up, until we get it in. And we'll see how that spring is going to work out. We may still have to round up a spring. So far, feels pretty good. Okay, we got all of our switches changed. Got our leaf switches cleaned up. Now it's ready to go in the, and we still have an extra joystick for some parts, which I've been kind of swiping a few off of it here and there. Alright, so I think this video has been long enough. And in the next episode, we'll get all this all put back into our control panel and be ready to put the control panel on once the cabinet's done. So I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. So until next time, see ya.